Everyone has an essence, uh, energy that they have. Think of that energy as like a bright light, and everybody's light is different. Different color, different intensity, different focus. Every experience we have as we grow up, some of those experiences make the light brighter. They allow it to reach its potential. Sometimes the experiences we have, they dim our light. Let's call those experiences traumas. Those experiences, they change us. They Someone does something to you. You experience very painful hurt. You experience a loss. Those experiences, they change us as people. Sometimes they change us so drastically that they change our course, like the branches of a tree. And we grow up and we don't realize in the moment that those traumas, they changed us. They changed our essence from who we were when we were growing up. And at some point in your journey, you see it. You see that those experiences, they made you into a totally different person, one that you should never have been. And how do we return to that little person who got changed, whose light got shifted, whose spectrum changed in that moment and took us away from the person we were always meant to be? Of course, I'm talking in a very roundabout way of how we stop being the person that we were always meant to be, our most authentic path. Um, how do we go back? How do we move forward, in effect? But move forward not as that changed person, but as the person we always had to be. Of course, you can relate this back to the trans experience, but you can also relate it back to a lot of different experiences as well. Um, how do we do it? Sometimes it requires us to go back and to go back to that little person and almost speaking to them and being like, that thing that happened to you, that thing that happened to me, um, it was terrible. I feel so sorry that you had to go through that thing. I feel so bad, so much empathy for you having to have had that experience and the result of how it changed you. And I think, sometimes it's someone does something to you, or you have an experience that really changes you in a negative way. And sometimes it's to go back and say, I forgive that person that did me wrong, not for them, but for me, so that I can return back, so that I can get some of that back. We change ourselves because of our experiences, and we do things that we don't want to do. We live lives that we don't want to live. We have we date people we don't want to date. um, and seems to be the normal human condition. And when we go back to that person and we go back to that experience that changed us, and we forgive that person for doing that thing to us, and again, we do it for us, not for them, but it allows us to let go and let go of that hurt in a way that will change you back, but also allow you to move forward. So, moving forward now, recapturing that lost light, you know, seeing the behaviors that you're now doing and why they are the behaviors that you do, and seeing why you do them in effect, and then taking that lesson and being like, I see, it is because of that that I do this. And now that I know it was that did it, now I can move past it. I can let go of that hurt, and I can let go of that experience, and I can forgive that person for they did not know, even if they did know, how it would affect me. And if they did know, I feel sorry for them because they must be so much more broken than I even knew they were. And that reclaiming of the person you were allows that light to come back. And I'm sorry, I'm getting all emotional. And when you get that light back, it is that is a level of joy that allows you to recapture your essence. And then you can be like, that piece of me that I lost, that I have now regained and I have found, I'm going to cultivate that piece of me. Maybe it was something simple, like I didn't dance because I was made fun of, you know? And then you recapture that piece and you start to dance again. And that dancing of the soul, that cultivation of self, that is so much of a piece of self-love. How to recapture the essence of who you were always meant to be in the purest sense of the word. And to love yourself not as you were, but as you are, and also to take the lessons from the past and to apply them to letting go of all of those things so that you can actually move forward with this newfound reclaiming of self. I know that's very complicated, but it's also very easy. And I guess it all depends on how you see it. Um, Obviously, I let go of who I thought I was for a very long time. And I fought it and I ran away from it because I wanted to fit in, until I knew that I could not. And reclaiming the piece of myself and the energy and the light that I feel that I can now emit, I would never in a million years let that go ever again. Love you all. Take care of yourself.